Hey! Welcome back to the Marmar's Hello There podcast. New intro. Short, sweet, and a little vocal magicness happening there by yours truly. Go ahead and say hello there, Gomer.
Hello, everyone. Gomer coming at you live via the marvelous future tool known as the internet.
This is my show, so dial it back, please. Dial it back. So, people can probably, all five people can hear like, the audio's a little different tonight. Yeah. Gomer refuses to visit his friends that he abandoned out in Sacramento to live in the super fucking cool, what is it, Portland?
Oregon. The hipness is almost painful, but it's worth every sting.
You make me sick. Anyhow, today's guest, Montgomery Isom Barnard.
Well said.
Easy. But as most people who I talk to and bring you up, I refer to you as Gomer. Mm-hmm. Anyone who refers you as Monte is a piece of shit, and they should know that now. You are a piece of shit if you refer to him as anything other than Gomer or any other cool nickname that I created.
You created that nickname in the course of 10 seconds out of necessity, out of need, and everyone just kind of ran with it. And now, at least for a good while there, half of the Sacramento music community knew me by that name, and I hated it. But now I've learned to embrace and love it because I take it as a gift now. I take it as a sign of affection from you, Martin. Yeah. Such a horrendous nickname.
I almost wish you would die, and that way I could cement it in time at your funeral. And he wanted everyone to know that whenever you speak of him or think of him as Gomer. And then just, boom, done. Forever.
My legacy would be cemented. Yeah, exactly. Everyone would know that. We could have memorial T-shirts, candlelight vigils. I want the whole 9 yards, and I want all of it just to be imbued with the wonderful, wonderful machismo that is the name Gomer.
All right, easy with those words. Easy with those big words, okay? Machismo. We're not at some fucking deli. Don't bring up machismo, okay? Gome-daddy, Gomo, gung-ho Gomo, Gome-daddy.
That's my favorite.
Gome sauce.
They're all winners in my book.
All winners. So we got Gomer here. Like I said, he refuses to come out here and say hi to his friends.
One of these days.
And I would say even more. I'm more than a friend. I'm kind of the driving force that of which made you. Mm-hmm. Easily said.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree with that statement.
Yeah. I don't need your approval, but thank you. Now, Gomer is a vocalist. I would say still. I mean, it's what we're going to be talking about mainly. But what would you say? Death metal mainly?
Yeah, I guess the death metal variety. Multiple different genres. I don't know. I'm not that
good
flexible, but I can handle a few different things. Yeah, sure.
Now, we've known each other for how long now?
Over at least a decade. At least a decade, that's for sure.
Wow, time really does go by fast, doesn't it? So, I don't know. So let's just jump into it because that's what I want to talk about is this thing. We can talk about some other shit, but what got you into music in the first place? And I mean, like, not like, I like to listen to Metallica. Brr. I want to know, like, what got you into actually performing? Because you didn't start off with just vocals, right? You wanted to be Mr. Guitar or something like that?
Yeah, I play a little guitar here and there. I'm not that great at it,
nope.
But I can play a power chord or three. But yeah, I don't know, man. Just the guitars looked cool, and I was in like middle school, and I was snowboarding a lot, and I was playing guitar. My parents gave me an ultimatum one Christmas and asked me if they said, okay, well, you can have one. You can have a new guitar, or we'll buy you a snowboard. And I liked guitar, I liked music more, and less chance of bodily harm, and equal chance of girls talking to me and being interested in me at the ripe age of 13. So I went that route and got my first couple of tastes of being on stage, and never looked back.
So what was it though that made you actually? Was it really the punani and the lack of bodily harm, or was there something that you were like, this is sick, I want to play guitar?
I did as the earliest memories I can conjure up. I've always been fascinated with like rock and roll and metal music, and I always just thought it was the coolest thing. Like some kids liked baseball players, some kids thought firefighters and astronauts were cool.
Wow.
And I just from the earliest I can remember, I always thought dudes on stages with guitars were like infinitely cool to me. Like my first concert I went to, I was 7. I saw the Smashing Pumpkins when I was 7, and it blew my mind. I saw Metallica, not to harp on your cliche, but when I was
a fucking bullshit.
Yeah, right. And it was just the coolest shit in the world.
Let me guess. You saw them when they still had Cliff, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Okay.
How old do you think I am, dude?
Yeah. Okay, I get it. You're just another person with a story of like, yeah, I even saw them when Cliff was alive. Of course.
I'm not nearly that cool. No. I wish.
What Smashing Pumpkins tour was it? Because I saw them when I was really young, and it was the Infinite Sadness tour.
Yeah, it was that tour. I saw them on that one.
Oh my fucking god! That's why.
We're kindred spirits.
Oh, yes. As my wife would say, yas queen, yas queen.
I actually started playing the drums when I was young because I had so much energy and was such a little hellraiser. My parents, I thought the drums were really cool, and so they put me behind the drum kit, and I played some drums, and then I moved to guitar because again I thought it was just kind of cooler. And
yeah, you're not a drummer.
I wanted to sing. I wanted to be like in front of the stage because I was such a little ham. I just slowly got less and less gear.
You were a ham? I was?
Yeah, not.
I don't know.
Not past tense. No,
it'll
permeate the rest of my life. Yeah.
Right. You are the ham and the cheese in the sandwich.
It defines me as a person, right. as a lifetime.
I feel like I was the buttery grilled bread on the outside, containing you.
That's a good analogy. That works.
You and I are a musical grilled ham and cheese sandwich.
And one day we'll be reunited in that beautiful, beautiful pan of music again. Hopefully one day soon.
Oh, it's coming so hard. So, so what was it that made you want to go from playing stupid drums to guitar, then to making that kind of jump to the front guy thing?
I guess just kind of the natural progression of I just really liked being a front man. I like that idea, and I did backup vocals in like the screamo bands I was in, and I always dug that. And then after that all kind of fell apart, I just decided, it'd be fun to give it a try. Let's give it a shot. I can do the vocal, and I kind of found myself like I feel like I can do it pretty strong, like if not as strong as our lead guy. Like let's give it a shot. And
so was it kind of out of like necessity and stuff? Like okay. Did you feel like you wouldn't be able to find a front man to do what you thought you could do, kind of a thing?
I mean, not necessarily. We probably could have found somebody, but I went at when we started that Bears Doing Human Things band, and I was 18 or 19. I went out and I headhunted and made sure I got Clayton to play bass, and I went and I put that shit together. If I have any strengths in the music industry, it's putting things together, putting bands together and people in a room and herding the cats. That was my one strong point. And I kind of headhunted and found a drummer, a couple guitar players, a bass player, and forced everyone in the room. And I still wrote some riffs and wrote some stuff with it and kind of got on board and wanted to get it kick-started, so to speak. But
yeah.
I went in with it. I went into it with the goal. Like, I was really digging Converge and Black Dahlia Murder and stuff, and I wanted to be like, I want to be the front man in this. I want to give it a shot and just see how it is. And so let's do that. And the more I did it, the more I liked it. The writing lyrics aspect, the performing aspect, the like progressing and getting better with my voice, and you know, every once in a while people would be like, oh, you're really good at that, and I get good remarks and kind
and
of
then
good feedback
you
for
would
certain
see your
things,
dad. So. You'd see your dad hand them like a couple bucks and pat him on the back, and be like, "Hey, thanks, dude."
I wish my dad never has, and nor never will. Or give
I know
any amount of shit.
I know.
I can win a fucking grand.
What
my
a
dad
piece
would not
of
give a shit.
I'll just say, what a piece of shit your father is, right?
No.
Nah, he's cool. He's pretty big and intimidating. He paid my way through
college, so I gotta respect him there. But no.
Yeah, but remember what you said, and I agree. What a piece of shit your father is, dude.
We got a bad connection.
Hello.
Check.
I don't know. No,
yeah,
I'm just reading from that heart-shaped letter that you folded for me, and then I just read a little excerpt from it about what a piece of shit your father is, right? Now your dad's pretty cool. I met him like maybe never, but he seems like a cool guy. So now I remember getting somebody. It probably was you that contacted me about trying out for the Bears Doing Human Things.
Oh, that was me, yeah.
And then, see? Can you guys hear his head grow?
That's taking credit where credit's due, man.
Pop. So, yeah. And you sent me the stuff, and at the time, I was doing like more like a metal band kind of a thing, and in Burn Hill Scar, check it out. I think it's on SoundCloud. And it was heavy, but it wasn't what we ended up doing, later on. It was a little more kind of had that like little heavier like rock and roll vibe, but more on the heavier side of it for sure. But that kind of Converge-y, Every Time I Die, less technical stuff, but just more like aggressive playing.
Yeah, because everything that was like Converge, I wrote, and then everything that was Every Time I Die, Tay would wrote, and Tay would go on to join Catherine, who was on Rise Records for a while, like early Rise Records.
Wow, wow! Yeah, you want to play Name Drop?
No, I'm just giving the full annotated history.
Wait, listen.
Martin loves to give me shit, and he does it well. No, but I reached out to Martin just because of I really liked Burn Heel Scar, and they were one of the bands that was like on a lot, like when national metalcore acts were starting to like prop up, because I mean metalcore wasn't really a big thing in 2005 and 2006 yet, and so like it was up to like the local anchor bands of each scene, which is really kind of fascinating to look back and think about it. But like the local anchor bands, like you guys and Catherine and like Return from Exile. I'm trying to think of other one, like Conducting from the Grave. Like each anchor scene would headline over with these national bands. Like national bands would come through, and then they would open for like you guys and Catherine, and going to those shows down in Roseville and Sacramento and wherever, and seeing you guys a bunch of times. And I just really dug your music. I always thought you guys sounded like Unearth if Unearth was good. In my personal opinion.
Skylar definitely had that Unearth vocalist look for sure. The white guy.
It might have been that. It might have been that for sure. He looks like Trevor for sure.
That was probably the only thing that was Unearth about us, honestly. Was our vocalist in his long
regardless,
blonde hair.
But, like I remember hearing that you guys broke up. I remember hearing that like Burn Hill Scar's done. And we were looking for a new guitar player, and I did the whole MySpace thing. And I remember specifically, I can see it as clear as day, is seeing like the paragraph, like the about the band thing, and it kind of went down the line of like what everyone is doing. Like Hugh has this new project, and Skylar has this new project, and Martin is currently looking for something. It basically said you were a free agent, and I hit up Hugh. Just that's how I met Hugh. Is like I found him on MySpace, and then I got your information through him. And then I called you and was like, hey, man, I really liked your stuff, and would you be interested in jamming with us? And you drove those 45 fucking minutes all the way up to Auburn, California to meet up in a Marie Callender's Pie parking lot.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, dude, it was before GPS. It was before we had smartphones.
I bet
So
you anything I printed out directions.
Oh, yeah, probably.
How fucking sad. How sad the past was. God, I hate the past. I feel like the past is the poor person at any party. You know what I mean? Just like, fuck, all right. Yeah, come on in, dude. Oh, thanks. I brought wheat thins. Oh, God. Cool, dude. Cool, bro.
Well, I guess when we're all teleporting in the future, right? Like these stupid. Remember when we had iPhones and had to call each other before we could just kind of holographically project into each other's rooms?
I would purposely call you because I know that I felt like you hated talking on the phone and you just liked to text because it was easy, and so I would purposely call you like whenever I wanted to like chat.
That's a factual statement.
Factual. So I will say that when getting back to the Bears doing human things. When you sent me the songs and all that stuff, I was like, all right, cool. This is kind of what I think I'd like to kind of try something less metal and a little something on the on a different path. But I just remember thinking like I'm not too stoked on the vocals. They weren't my favorite. They weren't. They were good. It just wasn't my favorite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because what you were doing then is definitely different as far as like your range and everything else that you're at now. I think before you did a lot of high and like yelling stuff, right?
Yeah, I just tried to rip off like Converge, and I just did like when we went in there. I remember that EP we sent you. We tracked all the vocals in like the course of 3 hours, and I had like a handheld, like an SM58 or something like a handheld, something super basic, and I just went in there and I just busted out like first take and just screamed and screamed and screamed. And we showed the guy over at Plus Cavern. We showed him just like a couple Converge records, and we were like, "Make me sound like that."
You pointed at it. Did you point at it and go, that one?
Do it! Yeah, and I think he just threw some shit on there. I think for what it's worth and like what we were trying to do, I thought I kind of pulled it off.
I think so too.
Not everyone's cup of tea for sure.
Yeah, no, I think it was right for what it was. It just wasn't my favorite style of vocals. And then I kind of came in. And I took leadership as a from the songwriting aspect. I made the band what it is today, which is nothing now. And I would say like when the different styles started to happen, and we did the name change. The what's your name? How do you say it? What's your name?
In our defense, hard to say band names back then were really popular.
That's what you needed. And I would say like at that when the music style really started to change, which it did, it really kind of once Tay and God, I can't remember his name, Jason.
Yeah,
I would say once they were totally out and we were kind of moving past that, I think that even though I didn't want to play like metal stuff, that's just what was happening. That's what I was writing. So that's what we kind of did, and I think maybe because of that, partially because of that, but maybe because you wanted to try try other things too. But I think it worked out with me introducing a kind of a new direction and you wanting to try some other things. I think it was just a good moment for that to happen, and I would say that's when you really started to kind of grow, and then I could really hear like, oh shit, he's got some motherfucking range.
I started experimenting and doing things differently with my voice and emulating other artists. I agree though, man. Like as we built that and as we garnered a somewhat humble following throughout the Middle Valley, I think our influences just kind of Venn diagrammed really, really well. Like you, me, and Clayton, like we were all on the same page really well with like what we liked and what we were into, and so I think it definitely worked out that you and I still think we wrote really well together. I think
so too.
I think we'd arrange really well together.
And I mean, even with Hayden, even with what Hayden wanted to do,
Yeah, he was really into it too. I think he was more into like what you brought to the table than his brother Tay did, because Tay's a great guitar player, but Tay's definitely more rock and roll, and you came in and Tay or Hayden loves Animosity and shit. So
sorry, Tay. Yeah, dude. Yeah, you might be beautiful, sure. You might have perfect everything, yeah, sure.
Pretty much.
But guess what's ugly? Your riffs.
Love you, Tay. I hope you listen to this one day. I miss you.
Yeah. No, and but yeah, I think all those kind of pieces with all of us just kind of work. Even I guess with John, but there's a phone and my wife's texting me. She knows not to text me when Papa is working. It's not even work, but yeah, it's work. Anyways, I'll deal with her later. We don't need. I'll just another podcast, I guess. I think it just kind of worked, and we were able to kind of really, it just totally changed. We dropped the whole Bears Doing Human thing, which I like that name a lot.
That was a weird one, but it worked out. It worked weirdly. Like, kids loved that name, and it was a throwaway joke name, and kids loved it, and I don't know why. I don't know. I look back to this day, like, I think even that iteration, that, like, if we would have kept going and really, like, honed it, maybe had some real management, even in, like, the original lineup, I think we could have done something. And then especially, like, if, like, you, me, Clayton, Monte on drums, and maybe this is a four-piece, or maybe with Devin as well, like, if we had some management and, like, maybe even a little capital to work with, like, we could have done some shit. We could have wrote some really cool, I don't know. I always look back at that. I'm still really proud of, like, the songs we wrote together and, like, the performances we put on.
Yeah. Sometimes I would write stuff and like, that's a Bears song, and I'll just put it aside.
Wait, still? You still do that?
Once in a while, yeah.
We gotta get that new EP going.
Now is not the time, Gomer. Now is not the time. So
I've been jocking his ass for this for 4 years now.
Here we go. Hijack my podcast. Hijack, and I dare you. So
all day.
So you being the person that you are, the ham and cheese that you are, the kind of go-getter that you are, you were always wanting to do stuff and make connections, and you always seem to have that kind of mindset and to kind of try to further things and make connections with people, like Fallujah, for instance, which we'll get to in a minute. But kind of building relationships and friendships with different people, and I would say especially because you guys knew Fallujah. You've known him for a while, since almost the beginning of Fallujah, right? The band, not the place.
I think we played their second or third show ever at that VFW hall in Orangevale, and that's when I met them. Yeah, and that was back when Alex was playing guitar for them, and I mean, me and Alex are still really close. I'm still obviously close with those guys, and yeah, we met them, and then we just played shows, and I kind of maintained, because I saw them, and they were fucking killer, and it was their third show, and they were like 16 or 17.
Aren't they still 16 and 17? Yeah. Oh, awkward silence. Cool. So yeah, I mean, you always kind of you were able to just meet people and make things happen, and then even more so when you guys were kind of getting out of the Auburn area and coming more towards Sacramento, and then when we started rehearsing in Sacramento at the practice spots over here and stuff, and kind of getting familiar with everyone else, I would say that was a big part too, especially later down the line with the different things that you're able to be a part of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just shooting the shit and kind of making as many friends as possible. I don't know. It just always comes naturally to just kind of be a social butterfly or whatever. I don't know. The weird thing is I don't think about myself like that, and I don't cognitively try to do that shit. I just kind of, I don't know. It's not like I, actively seek to go meet this guy or talk to this person. Like, I'm going to go network and going to go do this. It's just, I don't know.
It's almost,
it just comes natural to me. I like doing that. I like making friends.
I know what you mean. I'm kind of the same way. I think it kind of, I don't try to be, I don't mean to be who I am, but I think it almost comes out of that nervous tension. And it's just like, I don't know what else to do. It's like, oh, it's always awkward meeting someone. Just start talking, and then it is, and you are who you are, and what happens, and then you have a new friend.
Oh, look at that, new friends.
So the Antioch synopsis, we peaked, we charted hard.
Oh yeah, that release we did, that finally came out.
we did the EP, and then we did a full length that had some of the EP or something like that. But so we did that, and I think that band, the Antioch Synopsis stuff, like was as far as personally speaking, I think was kind of like a game changer for ourselves and me personally.
Yeah.
In terms of like what I'm personally speaking, what I'm able to do. And it more, not even just like songwriting and riff writing, but having to write other parts and arrange things and kind of take on a more arrangement, kind of full on songwriter and stuff like that. And I think you took on a bigger, better, an even better role as a lyricist and then the actual doing the vocals and all that shit. I think we just like, I think that band, especially towards the end, with those, the full length thing we did, I think it kind of opened up like, oh, there's, I think we're good at what we do.
Yeah.
And I think that was like a turning point,
I agree.
Without trying to like toot the horn, but I think it really was. I think it kind of like, I think we have some skillage.
It came out of necessity, I think, too, because we were just kind of like, Clayton always put his 2 cents and always helped out, but it was like, I think the main part of that show, it was you and I, and then you and Monte, the drummer, like working on certain arrangements and things, again, just building in that capacity. But I think that out of the necessity of like, we'd never really done it before, but we were just so like into it and like so like invested emotionally and like intellectually into this product that we wanted to make sure we got it right. And we worked on it so much, and it was like, it didn't feel like work because we really loved working on it. And it was like, oh, this needs to be done. Okay, well, I think I can do that. Okay, well, that needs to be done. Okay, well, you could probably do that. Well, yeah, okay, let's just keep trying. And it was all just trial and error and kind of, frontier, unknown territory for us. But I agree, like, kind of, it kind of set a precedent going forward. It's like, oh, I can do this. And
right.
So it wasn't like we were actively trying to, like, push our own boundaries. We just wanted to fucking make a record. And it definitely took a long time, and we definitely, it was a hard experience, but like I'm still really proud of that record and everything we did on it, for sure.
Me too. And I remember listening to it and just being like, whoa, that, like, when there's like songs or riffs or, for, maybe as a vocalist, there's, vocal stuff that you hear and you're like, God damn it, why didn't I write that? Like, why, fuck, how come I didn't? And I feel like when we did that full length, there's some stuff on there where it's like, I felt that way, and it's like, oh my God, we did that, like, sick. And I just think that full length and the process and everything that went into it, all the, drama and everything, at the end of it was, I think it was a changing moment for myself and maybe for you, I guess, and the other dudes, as far as like what we're actually possible, what's, what we can actually do.
Yeah, and I mean, it's fun. You're right. I agree. It's fun listening back to that, and you're like, and having like little trickles of memories of like how that part used to be until like we like kind of brainstormed it, and then like, oh, this is so much better, and like that catharsis, and we were like building the song and like rearranging a million times, and like finally coming to it. It's like making a movie or something.
Yeah.
And that, like. And then tracking all of it, and then like piecing it all together, and kind of the whole journey of it, and then the like just making sure it all flowed correctly. And
right.
I mean, I think it sounds okay, but it as far as like production wise, but it's like I can only imagine if we had like an actual budget and did that record like at a professional studio, like how cool it would sound. Like I think it sounded like, I'm listening now to the new Rivers of Nile record a lot, and like we sounded a lot like them. I don't know if you listen to that record too much. Aside from like the clean parts, but
they must have listened to that our full length, because I hear 100% rip off. You know them.
Yeah, right.
You can tell them. You could say, "Hey, dude, my friend knows you ripped them off so fucking hard, guys." When you're in Sacramento, can you put them on the guest list though? That's the least you can do.
The least you can do. Buy him a coffee. Buy him a beer. Get him on the guest list.
I'm not drinking coffee, but I am drinking beer. So
okay, beautiful.
So yeah, no, the Rivers of Neil is pretty tight. So that band ends, and I think it ended because we were on the top of the mountain. Okay.
Where else can you go?
Did we ascend? Did we ascend into the heavens? Yeah, we did. Did we go? Did we venture out into other galaxies? Well, of course we did. Did we possibly create life within our own eyes? Yes, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Did we?
Unrefutable. Irrefutable.
Did we chart? Yeah, of course we charted.
In Japan.
Oh, Japan. So
always so good to us.
Too good, almost. It's hard to come back from that, and we did. So after we peaked, and it just kind of fizzled out.
Well, we kind of had the wind out of our sails because we had a certain individual move out to Sacramento. It was a whole thing.
Shit happens. Shit happens.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
Looking back, it was a shitty. I mean, honestly, it was a shitty way to go out, and that's kind of a big regret of mine. Is that Joe's a good dude, and I'm not gonna knock him for it, but it's like it was just definitely a mismatch, and we really should have just like cognitively taken like a month break and then got back to it, because we worked so hard on like new material and it just wasn't working, and it was just everyone was broke. Clayton and I were both in like our junior or senior year of college too, so we were just like super strained in other venues, other capacities, and then Monte had some like issues with like the law or something, like he had to like,
well, we don't need to get too personal there, but I think he murdered like 9 people. I think he would.
Tickets or something.
I think he would travel like to different towns and murder people, and then he would come back. And I think because of all that DNA evidence he left behind, they were just kind of like, I think we're closing in on him. But we don't need to get too personal.
Yeah, but it was a shit show.
I just think we were all trying to go at it really hard, but at that point, there was just so many things kind of starting to happen, and people were, myself included, were kind of getting a little burnt out, and then things would happen, and the drive started to bog down a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Wind got out of our sails, and we were pulled in different directions for sure at that age. Yeah,
and it had whatever, and some cool shit has come. I think because of that band, because of the people that we've met, and then also because of the music that we created was kind of, for anything else that we did, if people wanted to look back and like, oh wow, these whatever, they could do this kind of stuff if they needed our help with something, and I think because of that, I think that helped with you.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. Yeah, I wouldn't be. Yeah, you're not kidding when you say like what we did kind of propelled me to do a couple other projects in Sacramento, and with a little higher notoriety, and then I ended up moving to Portland.
So real quick before we get to that, how my answer, but I want to hear it from you. I want to hear your answer to this question. Did I make you?
100%.
100.
To my dying day, I will always give you full and total credit for all of my earned success. Would be nothing without Martin Bianchini's blessing and propelling into my own.
100%. You heard it, people, on the Marmar's Hello There podcast with me, your host, Martin. That's right. I make people. And what else do? I can break people. Anyhow,
True. I've seen him do it.
He has. Now, so what happened after that? Because I know you kind of just did the job thing, and I don't think you were doing too much musical stuff right after we kind of stopped doing the Antioch thing.
Yeah, there was a point I was in like 2 or 3 bands at a time, and just really I was playing guitar in one band, I was doing vocals in 2 bands, and just going at it hard. Cause it's just, it's what I really love to do. And I just got out of a long-term relationship, and I just graduated from college, and I was kind of like had some free time and some free mental headspace. So I was working a job and just putting all of my free extracurricular energy into playing music, and did that. And then all 3 of those things kind of went tits up, and and I just thought, why not? I got nothing holding me back. So I moved up to Portland, took a job up here, worked that for a little bit, and then Gabe Sieber, who played in the Kennedy Vale, who plays in the Kennedy Vale, who played in Alter Beast, the Unique Leader Records band. He was playing drums with them, and they were taking off like a fucking like a rocket.
Which band was it? Alter Beast or the Kennedy Vale?
Alter Beast was taking off really hard. Okay. They just got signed to Unique. They were their full debut, full length had just come out, does really well response, critical acclaim, on people really digging it. And they got their offer for their first tour, which was with Chelsea Grin, the Black Dahlia Murder, and Suicide Silence. And
a few no names, if you will.
Pardon?
A few no name bands they went on tour with.
Yeah. Nothing. And it's funny, I remember when they started, because they're going by a different name, and I remember they asked me to do vocals for them when they were starting, and I turned them down for the other project I ended up going with that ended up, again, disbanding.
Was that when they were the Gary Busey Amber Alert?
Yeah, that's when they were that. And they started that. Them and Summer Ross started at the same time.
That's right. You were doing the Summer Ross. That shit was sick too.
Yeah, that shit was sick. I still really like the music I made with that band. That was really cool. But yeah, they both asked me to sing for them, and I chose Summer Ross simply because I was a really big Embrace the End fan and a really big Conducting from the Grave fan, and that band had 2 of the key guitar players from both of those projects, both of those bands. And so I really wanted to work with them, so I took that instead, and Gary Busey ended up turning into Alter Beast and getting signed and going on. And I remember having like a big reflective moment that I made the wrong decision. I chose the wrong girl or whatever.
Right. I mean, I think.
And then it ended up that their singer was doing some shady stuff, and they called him out on it, and they kicked him out. And Gabe really liked my stage presence. Antioch had played with the Kennedy Vale a bunch, and Summer Ross played with the Kennedy Vale a few times. And Gabe was always super, super kind to me and a really nice guy, and was always like, dude, he really sung my praises and was very vocal about how much he liked my vocals, pun intended. And he hit up Andrew, their guitar player, and was like, you should ask Monte to do this tour.
Who? Ask who?
Gomer, sorry.
Oh,
You should have Gomer to do this tour.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And they were, isn't Gomer isn't he a business guy now and doesn't have a real job?
Yeah, isn't he a piece of fucking shit?
Exactly. And Gabe said, what equivocates to just give him a shot. What can hurt? Reach out to him on Facebook. And when I saw that message, it took me a couple minutes, but I was like, yeah, I'm quitting my job, because I will never get this opportunity again to go on my first national tour with one of, if not my ultimate all-time favorite band. And yeah.
Was that was the Black Dahlia Murder?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty tight. I
remember showing up to Chicago and getting out and loading in and just kind of doing the whole introduction thing, and they were instantly the nicest guys. They no rock star bullshit at all. And the same thing goes for Suicide Silence. Everyone was so nice, and there was no egos, no machismo, no rock star bullshit, and we all got along. And that was I met my current girlfriend 4 years later. I met her on that tour. That October 2014 might be the zenith of my life. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh yeah, like the TV.
Exactly. The highlight. Yeah. The apex.
I'm referring to the brand Zenith TVs, or is it something else?
No, was Zenith TVs, the ones that made the one that they're probably going to be responsible for millions of people's lower back pain in the next 10 years.
Easy. I'm trying to get a sponsorship here, buddy. Okay, I'm trying to get a little sponsorship here. So would you say that was that the next like real big turning point? Is kind of when you were able to get on to something where you were doing some more legit, stuff.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. And then when I came home from that, like I started to kind of flesh out any other way I could have income and side jobs and any way to keep me able to be a free agent to go on tour. So I just, would fill in for bands. I would do merch. I would be a driver. Like it was just the community that I loved and like just what I always just weirdly, my compass always pointed to, is what I always wanted to do. So like, it just made sense. Like it felt right. Like I was broke as shit and I didn't have anything. But it was just like, this is what I've been like working my ass off for since I was 18 to do this. So I gotta like at least give it the old college try and really go through it. So
now did this change your mentality as far as being a vocalist in the way of like, taking what you do, even because you've always taken the vocal guy thing and the frontman thing serious. I always thought you were like, it was who you are as a person is perfect as a frontman. As just that's your personality is perfect for that kind of a role in a band. But do you think when the kind of the Ultra Beast thing started and you were able to do some legit stuff, did it change anything? Did it make you kind of like think about health wise as far as like taking care of your voice and maybe taking things a little more doing things proper and not trying to go so hard that you blow yourself? Did anything change like that where you wanted to be a little more professional about it at that point?
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely a thing that was in the back of my mind, knowing that it's like, okay, well, look at myself in the mirror, like, okay, dude, like, you've never done 30 shows in a row before. You've done maybe 3, So it's like, it was definitely a thing, like, I definitely wanted to practice a lot and make sure, like, I wasn't going to give it 110%, like, the first couple nights. Like, I am well aware, I've heard the horror stories. I'm not privy to them firsthand, but I've heard the horror stories of dudes blowing their voices out on tour. I have, sequentially, I have since then subsequently I have blown my voice out on a tour. It sucks. It really fucking sucks. But that one I was definitely really, really cognizant and really like, okay, I really have to figure out what I'm doing and make sure that I'm doing this the right way, and that if anything's going wrong, I'll hold back and I'll sacrifice, maybe one performance if it means not blowing my voice out and being able to like rethink at something and then come back to it, so to speak.
Right.
But I didn't have any problems. Like I was really, really, I don't know if I was lucky or just the preparation paid off, but those 30 shows, like I didn't blow my voice, didn't do it, I felt really confident, and like it's best to kind of do a slow, like, the incline not being too brutal, like a really, easy incline, then instead of going like 1 to 100, but like I really felt like towards the end of that tour I was definitely a much better vocalist. I knew my body, I knew my voice, I knew a stage, I knew everything. Like you definitely get hardened and get kind of that routine of when you do the same show 30 times in a row, like the muscle memory and everything plays. That's why you see like seasoned veteran bands that's why they're so good at playing their shit. And that's why you can tell a rusty band. I mean, there's definitely weird, intangible aspects. Like, you can just tell. You can just tell. Like, okay, yeah, these guys, yeah. But there's something, even with like how they build the set, like how they hold themselves, how they approach certain things. Like it's so subtle, but it's like you go see a tour, or rather, I really enjoy seeing tours towards the end of it because every band has their shit together.
Right, there's
they
a
have everything
sweet
on
spot.
Lock, everything's galvanized.
Yeah, there's like a sweet spot. The beginning part is dusted off. And they're not totally burnt out. You know what I mean? There's that kind of like that sweet spot of where everything's just perfect and they're not, not everyone's fucking tired or cold and shit like that. I agree.
Yeah. Everyone, it feels natural. Like it's, I was just out. Like the last tour I did was 2 months straight, and those last few shows, I could have done those in my fucking sleep. Like, and I felt like I was just, not in a bad way, but I just felt like, get on stage, give me that microphone. I know every mark to hit. I know every part. I know every different thing. I know what works with crowds. I know what doesn't. I know when exactly to call to do like the let me hear you, like all those little banter things, like all that practicing is like you just feel so comfortable up there when you've done 45 shows. It's like that level of comfort shines and kind of lets you really. There's no more nerves, really. There's no more anxiety because you're so comfortable with it, and then it lets like your true persona, your true like what you want to do on stage shine through, and there's no bullshit in the way,
Right. No, I don't. But so did you end up recording anything with Alter Beast or no?
No.
Okay.
Nope. We did some pre-production stuff, but we ended up disbanding in September 2015, and then Andrew rebuilt the band, and the work I did on the couple of songs of pre-production, they rewrote, so.
Ow.
That's okay. I mean, to be honest, like their new vocalist hit me up and asked me if he could use the lyrics and the phrasing for, for one or two of the songs. Yeah, and I
Michael, dude. If I see Michael, I'm gonna yell at him. I swear to God, dude.
Yeah, I think it was Andrew's idea. It was Andrew's idea to get the vocals.
I'm gonna hit up Michael, and I'm gonna be like, God damn it, dude. When are you gonna make me a pizza?
He's doing a killer job, though. He's a really great vocalist.
Yeah. Michael's rad. So after that, did you do 1 or 2 tours with the Ultra Beast thing?
I did 2.5, I'd say.
And I would say that was it seemed like that was like a moment of, with what that band was doing, like, oh, something's happening here, like they're still in the very beginning stages of doing the real touring thing. It's not like a beginner band shit, because that first tour you did was sick.
So big leagues. You kind of thrust us in the big leagues. Like, okay, we gotta be big boys now.
Definitely at the beginning stages, but of that, of that part of being an actual touring band. So what happened after that?
After that, I ended up doing some fill-in shows with Thyroid is Murder. Did some fill-in stuff with them in Southern California.
Now let's so the Thy Art is Murder thing happened after Alter Beast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was kind of like my ticket to be able to fill in for that. Yeah.
Now that was pretty tight, and I remember you talking to me about that, and even Clayton and myself had talked about it, and we were both just like, "Whoa, dude, what's going on here? It seems like something is a brewing." And
Gung Ho Gomo actually did something cool.
Like, oh my God, he did it. We can ride on his coattails. But that was a definite moment of like, whoa. I think we could talk about the sad ending to the story, and then the phoenix that arose from the ashes. But at that point, when you told me, when you were telling me about it, and you wanted me to keep it hush hush and shit like that, because something cool was happening. I remember started thinking about like the past and everything, and kind of like the road that led to this. Like, whoa, he actually, you did the work. I mean, you did the work, and it's not even just that. It's also, you were good. You worked on your craft. You were smart about things, and all these little stupid fucking things that you kind of do as you're on the journey of life, and getting into what you're getting into. All these little things, like I saw, like, whoa, it paid off. It's paying off. It's, and the Thy Art is Murder thing. It's not like they were some Sacramento or at that point Portland band. They're from what, Australia?
Yeah, they're from Australia, yeah. But
so it's
no,
kind of
not best laid plans of mice and men. Not all that glitters is gold.
right. But I mean, it was one of those moments of like, oh, something's happening here, and it was really cool. For I think I can speak for Clayton, that we were like super stoked that like, whoa, shit, did it work? You know what I mean? Like,
well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
And even though the way it turned out, isn't exactly what we all thought was going to happen, but just the fact that it got to that point, they made decisions, it is a business, and they made, a decision, and that's fine. But you still got to that point, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was surreal, man. It was really, really fucking weird. There was definitely a point in my life, like, with that, and like, I don't know, like I've since kind of course corrected and kind of gone back, and I'm happy where I'm at right now for sure. But it was weird there for a minute, man. Like being on the blogs and being like kind of in the spotlight was really weird.
Well, when you hopped on to the Thy Art Is Murder thing, so how'd you even get that?
We were talking about earlier, just like, networking, and I actually, what clinched that gig was, I knew their driver. Their driver had been on a tour I did in 2015. He drove for Christian from South America and Surrection from Sweden were on the tour, and they shared a bus. And Greg, shout out to Greg Keller,
Greg Keller?
He's a driver. He drives for Borno Osiris and Memphis Mayfire. He's just kind of a hired gun, and he drove for them. And I heard that, and I was kind of just firing on all cylinders and reaching out to everyone I knew, and that clinched it. And yeah, so we did that, and I got to play in Mexico, and that was fucking awesome. That was insane, like insane. Really cool experience. Definitely something I'll look back happily on. And I'm on good terms with those guys. Like CJ is a good friend of mine. Lee and Sean and Marshy and Kev. They're really great dudes, and they're really gracious. Every time they come to town, they're always happy to put me and a few pluses on the guest list, and hawk some merch my way. Like they're nice guys for sure. They're a little tired out there on the road. They're definitely road dogs, but they're when it comes down to it, they're good dudes for sure.
Yeah, I remember you. Besides Mexico, did you do a European thing, or did you do just a big ass festival with them?
Yeah, I did a couple club dates and a really big festival down in Southern California, like San Bernardino, I think it was. I don't remember.
I remember seeing pictures, and I think it's from the Art Is Murder thing, where they have those big old fucking screens, on the sides of the stage.
Yeah,
is that it? And there you are with your big beautiful bald head and your fucking beard and your big ass. Let me say this real quick. You definitely look like a wrestler.
That's what I'm going for, man. Yeah, great.
And knowing you actually could be. Your banter is second to none. Come on, walk down the ring. I want to watch you walk down the ring. Step into the ring. Like I can see you doing all that bullshit. But I remember seeing that picture. And your big old fucking bald head, projected onto that screen, and then the crowd just holy shit. And
that was a big one. That was, if memory serves, it was 17 or 20,000 people. And that was my first time walking on stage with them.
That's right, yeah. And Wes Houch or Hawk, I don't know how to say his name.
Yeah, Wes. Yeah, he filled in. Yeah, and that guy snores like a motherfucker.
The snore machine, yeah.
Share a bed with him in a hotel.
I almost want to sleep next to him and just see what kind of crazy snoring harmonies we can create.
Yeah, God, between you and him, man.
We could probably open up
half a block.
We could probably open up the fucking the gates of hell with our snoring combined. That might. If you can get a hold of him for me, let him know this new project.
I'll send him your number. I'll send him your number. You guys can get that set up.
Sick. But I just remember, and I remember seeing that and oh my fucking God, that is so sick. And again, it was one of those moments where I just thought man, all the shit that, all the kind of bullshit that, every person in any band, goes through and dumb shit shows, and like teen center shows and church shows, and there's nobody there. There's a lot of people there, or whatever it is, all that kind of stuff that anyone who's in a band, who's ever played in a band and shows, goes through. Every single person who's in a band has done it. To the biggest fucking bands out there, they've all done it.
Yeah.
And so I just thought about stuff like that, and then, thinking back to the picture, and then I went on YouTube, and I'm like, I gotta see this, I want to see what was going on. And it was just really fucking cool to see it. It's one of those moments where I could have easily been jealous. I was. And, but instead, not really. I was, proud. I hated you.
Thanks,
and,
man.
You know what I mean? Just like, oh, fuck yeah. It was like, oh, shit, look at that. His big, bald, head with a beard and big old girthy fucking neck. It was just super sick. It was super sick. Yeah.
Especially coming from you, dude. I appreciate that. That's nice that you had that sentiment. That's nice, because... Yeah, I really appreciate it, man. That was a good time, and it was just crazy. Like, regardless what happened, like, it was. I look back with a smile on my face, and it's like, that's just crazy that happened. That's just fucking crazy that I managed to do that. So, I mean, I'm on to a different career path now, but.
And then let's bring it back to earth. And then they fired you.
Well, yeah, it was a situation with their singer, and.
Don't worry, I'll talk to them.
It's all good.
No. I'll talk to them.
It's quite all right. But yeah, he came back.
Hey, CJ. Yeah. Hey, come here real quick, brother. Yeah. Hey, you doing the vocal thing, huh? That's good. He is the vocalist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
This fucking guy.
Hey,
fucking guy.
Hey, why don't you back up? Huh? You know who the fuck I am? But no, that.
Who the fuck do you think you are? I know who the fuck I am.
CJ, you got 2 letters for a fuck. 2 letters for a fucking name. Yeah, fuck you. No, he's actually pretty sick, and I don't know him. And
real, as the Australians say, real sick cunt.
Yeah, definitely. All right. That's my Australian impression. All right.
Close enough.
And it can go with anything. Like they take a bite out of some plantain and Vegemite sandwich, and like, what do you think of it? All right.
It's your go-to. You could immerse yourself in their culture, and no one would know the difference.
Yeah, getting like a decent beach, and thinking, well, this is all right.
Perfect. Perfect.
They go jumping out of a plane, do the parachute thing, and the parachute doesn't open, and they're getting closer to the ground, and then he accepts his fate, and he's all right. It goes with anything. It goes with anything.
Yeah. There you go.
Hey, what do you think of kangaroos? All right.
All right.
Yeah, you can't do it. I'm a master.
Yeah, I'm no good at impressions or accents.
No.
Been good at them.
You know what you are? You're all right. All right. So, anyways, so that ended, and that was a big bummer.
Yeah.
Because I know you were super pumped on it. We don't need to go into how the ounces and cups of tears that were spilt, but.
So what? All right.
All right. How are you feeling? I'm not all right.
Yeah, but after that, moving right along, Gabe, who I worked with in Alter Beast, is a good buddy of mine, and Kennedy Vale was looking for someone to do vocals for them. I stepped in, wrote the latest record, Imperium, with them, and with your help. All of the, if you listen to the Kennedy Vale's newest record, Imperium, that's me on vocals, and all of the orchestration and a lot of the arrangement help was from Martin.
Me?
Yes, Martin did a lot of that. And it was another kind of growing experience, I think, because you'd never really done anything like that before.
Not like that. Yeah, that was a definite, definite
learning
new
curve.
area. Yeah, for sure. And that was cool. And yeah, and like I was saying earlier, especially with you, doing just being who you are and the connections and the friends and this and that, networking and all that stuff. The same goes for you and I, us being friends and working together, and because of our relationship, a door opened for myself to work on something and try something new, which was really fucking cool and stressful, and but it ended up being tight, and that's pretty sick, but enough about me.
But yeah, it was a good time, so it was fun. Fortunately, the rigors of the road and touring is definitely a lot. And Kennedyville happened to be one of those bands that was kind of in that limbo where they toured just enough to not be able to hold down a real job, and not enough to actually kind of maintain an income,
respectively.
Be busy. So they were grinding. I mean, they're definitely working blue collar dudes that are working their asses off. And I was honored to be a part of that, but it was just like I got the offer to fill in for Fallujah, and I honestly took that tour to help pay off the debt that I was in from the previous Kennedyville tour I was on.
Yeah.
And they didn't like that too much, naturally, so they went a different direction, got a new vocalist, and that's awesome. Good for them. Again, they're all good dudes, no bad blood at all. I'm hoping they're going to work on some new stuff soon. I'm excited to hear it. But they're doing their thing. And then after Alex, who we spoke of earlier, quit Fallujah, I talked to Scott. The guys in Fallujah and me are very close. I lived with Alex for a while. Every time they play Portland,
yeah, he's not good. He's not good at staying awake and answering a door after driving to Portland for a few hours and needing a place to stay and getting the okay that he can stay. And then you knock, and it's the wee hours of the morning and he doesn't answer. You know what? That's fine. I barely even remember it. I'm not hanging on to it or anything like that. I just had my wife with me. No big deal. You know what, Alex? I barely remember it. Alex, I barely remember it, dude. You know what I mean? Water under the fucking bridge.
He did pay for your hotel, didn't he?
No.
What? I thought he said he did.
No. And check this out. You know what, Alex? I hope you're listening. I hope you're one of the 5 people listening to this. Hi, Dad. Listen, Alex, let me top it off. Not only did he not answer the door, and we had to get a motel for a few hours, then the next day, that he actually answered the door, and we got to stay the night there, he offered to make dinner. A vegan dinner. Oh, my God.
Alex, wait, no, you're fucking with me. Alex making vegan food?
Yeah, he was, or something.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I was out of town, wasn't I? Wasn't I out of town?
I think you were on tour.
Or something. I was on tour.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
And he thinks that by making me some fucking dish is gonna make it okay. Let me tell you something, Alex. Some bitch. Let me tell you something. Nah, Alex is cool.
Well, he lives in Brooklyn now, so if you need to go to Brooklyn, need a place to stay, you can bug him, and maybe he'll answer the door this time. Who knows?
Hey, hello, Alex. He slides a little bit of lettuce under the door. Like, here you go. Sorry. Oh, cool. Alex is rad. Then you did the Fallujah thing, and I know at that time it was things were a little bit rocky with you and just kind of the business in general. But you did get to do some cool shit with Fallujah.
Yeah, man. We did some of the big festivals in Europe, and we did an awesome tour with Thy Is Murder and Decapitated in the States. And
got to see you in New York City. That was sick.
That That was interesting. That was definitely an interesting time when they all got arrested and have since been acquitted. Thank God.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about seeing you in New York. But yeah, no.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right. Yeah, I mean,
right.
let's get dark then. Yeah, that was crazy. Moving on.
No, that was really cool. Martin just happened to be in New York City when I was playing there.
Yeah, it worked out.
Also, insanely fortuitous that
whatever that
if anyone in the business knows, guest list for LA or New York is notoriously packed all the time because everyone comes out of the woodwork and everyone and all the headliners know people in those cities, and it just so happened that we only had like 2 or 3 people on the entire guest list for the tour package. So I managed to get. I got you, Angie, and your cousins on too, weren't they?
No, my sister and her boyfriend.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Your sister and boyfriend.
And let me tell you why you only had a few people. Because Marty was in town. Okay. Someone put the word out and said, "Hey, all guest lists for all shows, while they're here, open. I push weight, baby.
Open door policy.
I push weight, dude. I push mad fucking weight. You thought I was kidding about Warner Brothers? Oh, God. Go fuck yourself. Never kidding.
That was a great show. That was a lot of fun seeing
You're welcome.
You guys. That was
You're
good.
welcome.
It was man, I think that was towards the end of the tour, I think. And that was towards the end of those 2 straight months on the road of traveling every single day. And oof, that was a doozy. That was the longest tour I've ever done. And that was a lot.
It was good
to see you. It was good to see a familiar face.
Yeah, you're welcome. Was that the last tour you did?
Yep, that was the last one. It ended at the beginning of October. I got home. And then the last show I played for the foreseeable future was Ozfest. I flew down to LA to fill in for Fallujah one last time and played Ozfest. And they have a new singer now. Their new album is coming along that will be recorded sometime this year. I don't know how much I can say on record.
I don't know much. But I know I love you.
Exactly. And the new shit is really cool. I'm really happy for them. And again, good terms. Love those guys.
Yeah.
They have had some change ups again that stuff that's not necessarily public yet. But
so let's kill it there. Let's just kill it there.
Yeah.
But I mean,
anyway,
so
good for them.
Even though as far as like the music career thing, dude, I mean, I don't know much about it either, but it's tough, and I would think it's especially tough for the style of music you're in, and then especially being the vocalist of fronting a death metal band in general. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, tough. I mean, tough in like a financial aspect, but like, I mean, honestly, man, like, it's not tough. Like, I like it a lot, and it's not like it's tough on me physically or mentally. It's like, give me a fucking microphone and put me in front of people. I don't care. It's like, it's what I'm good at. It's what I naturally gravitate towards.
Right. But that's what I mean. It's like the financial side, and that kind of. It seems a little bit tougher. But either way, I mean, even at the end of it all, as far as right now, because who knows about the future, but as far as like right now, even though you're not doing the music thing, to go look back and kind of where you started, and those hopes and dreams, of like, oh, it'd be so sick to tour with this, or at least even just at that time like play a show. To open up for a band that you think is so fucking sick, which we, you and I in the Antioch stuff we had done, and
that was awesome, man. That was
fucking
crazy,
sick, And then kind of the progression, and then you just kind of stuck with it, through these ups and downs, and just these cool fucking opportunities, and it's awesome even for myself to like look back and like, God damn, Gomer's big bald head, beard, thick neck. You have like your neck is like Beyonce's leg. You know what I mean? thick.
I was gonna say like tantamount to like George Corpse Grinder Fisher's neck and that kind of and that idea. But okay, Beyonce's leg. I'll take that.
That's not even thick. It's thack. You know what I mean? You got that. You got a thack.
THICC. Yeah.
No.
Perfect.
THAACK.
Thack.
And that makes it death metal right there when you do 2 A's. Thack. But
I appreciate the kind words, man, and I mean, it's part of me. Like I told myself a long time ago, like when I turn 30, like unless I'm really entrenched, and unless I'm making a good living doing it, and it's a career, then I'm gonna pull the plug and kind of let it take a hobby backseat instead of like a full on career. I told myself that like when I was younger, I had ups and downs, but like that was always kind of my mentality. Like coming out of college, I was like, okay, if I get the opportunity, I'm going to take it. But if I'm 30 and I'm not like making a solid living and it's not an actual career, I don't have like a steady stream, then I'll let it take a backseat to hobby status, and I've done that now, and it's kind of refreshing and relieving almost to be like, hey, you know what, like I got out on my own terms, like I stopped, like I kind of took the choice to pull the plug because I definitely, I don't want to make anything public, but I definitely got offers from other bands to do stuff, and offers of decent, not decent money, but money, like offers of, hey, here's what we'll pay you, here's what this is, here's the terms. I got a handful, and I turned them all down, and it's kind of nice to be like, to kind of have the wherewithal to be like, you know what, I did that, and while it's awesome to do something, everything becomes a job at the end of the day, and
right.
I still love it, and I want to enjoy it for what it is, and taking a little reprise, taking a little sabbatical from it, and I'm sure I'm going to come back pretty soon here with some cool stuff. I've been kind of brewing behind the scenes with a couple different people, so it'll be fun to make a project and hopefully get a little notoriety, a little eyes on it, from all the gracious opportunities I've had and the connections I've made, and hopefully get something out there that I can maybe play some shows with again. But it feels good to kind of get out my own terms and building a life, getting married in the next hopefully year or two. I got a job that I love. I got an awesome dog.
You got like 5 kids on the way.
Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. And I got a podcast. And
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Let me get back on the rails here. We are on my show.
That's right.
No, you do. And you know what I was gonna say? About kind of taking a more hobby, kind of way of doing music. What's nice about art in general, and I'm a big fan of art. Whatever you're doing, stop it. But what's nice about art is that you can do it on any level. You can do it on a hobby level as some sort, some form of, it's a little bit more serious, and you can make some okay money, or you can kind of step it up, or go, try to go full professional kind of shit. But that's what's nice about it, and that's one of the things that I love about just art in general. Really, any kinds of art, even puke art or farting or stuff like that. But anyways, you can. There's always room to do it. Oh yeah. My God, Curtis, you son of a bitch! Son of a bitch! How dare he? Not only did he fucking text me, and I'm trying to get real. Oh, I hope he listens to this, and then shits his own fucking pants. You interrupted my show.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, Curtis,
bringing the fire.
Ooh, Curtis. Ooh, I can't wait to see you. Rip out your fucking mustache.
I agree with what you're saying, though, man. Like art, the intrinsic value of art is what you get out of it personally, and what you want to do with it. So it's like it still scratches the itches to create it at a cathartic level, whether you're doing it in front of 20,000 people or you're doing it in your bedroom, and you can kind of that spark of creation and that spark of like putting it together and getting that kind of that release from that is definitely unparalleled to anything, and by no means am I going to stop doing that any fucking time soon. I'm way too much of a ham and cheese.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. At this point, dude, not only that, you're not, like, before it was like, okay, white bread, butter, fry it. Let's say Tillamook slices, We can do Tillamook slices and I don't know, whatever's, some Foster Farm or whatever those other packaged ham things. Now though, you were like artisan bread, thick cut, garlic butter fried bread, and then but then the cheese is like Gruyere cheese and
some stanky cheese.
Some fucking bullshit provolone in there and some other shit, and then there's the ham that comes from Italy. You got some Italian a fucking ham sliced, and now you're gourmet. Fucking, you are a gourmet sandwich of ham and cheese, and let me just say, delicious.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to let me tell my story today, Martin. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I'm probably not going to post this, so. Remember, I am the humbler. I build you up, and then I break you down and throw you away. No, man.
I love you for it.
Yeah, man. It's cool because just to kind of, I was on the boat with you, you know what I mean, in the beginning, and I think we both were in our lives as far as like music, and then everyone else as well, but just for this, you and I were at this like very fiery, creative drive moment, and a lot of shit was happening. It was a definite peak in the creative juices and all this stuff. And then to see you continue it and do, cool thing after cool thing, and just kind of that journey, and being stoked for you at the same time, it's just really cool. And,
Street goes both ways, man. Street goes both ways. Likewise, I'm stoked to see the projects you've been working on, and it's nice that having friends and connections in this scene and this kind of music and through this journey, and being able just to like let other people's experiences and other people's like wins, raise you up instead of make you jealous. So it's always good. High tide raises all ships,
Yeah, and that's cool, man. And yeah, your big old head, big old bald head on big old beard and a thick ass neck. On a big old Tron,
all for you, baby.
Big old Tron TV. Yeah, no, it's cool, man. And I'm always excited to see what you do. And like you said, you always have some stuff kind of going on in the back and whatnot. And
one of these days we'll write some music together. I am holding out for that. I'm not giving up hope yet. One of these days, when you're not busier than fucking God on the 6th day.
Sorry, you're breaking up. What?
I said one of these days we're actually going to make some music together. God is my witness.
Oh, easy. You have changed.
Praise him.
That's cool, man. Well, dude, thank you. This is if I didn't say in the beginning because it doesn't fucking matter anymore, but this was episode 5. You were on episode 5. And for anyone who was listening to the beginning and said, wow, Martin, not only was the original intro sick as fuck, but this one is next level fuck, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
my contact information is going to be in the show rundown,
definitely.
Show notes, so I'll be happy to do intros for anyone else's podcast.
So, yeah, if I didn't say it in the beginning, which I might have, Gomer lent his vocal skills. Actually, your ham and cheese fucking skills is at that, at the beginning. So thank you for doing that too. I knew who to go to for this. And you were the perfect son of a bitch.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me, Martin.
All right. So at some point, I'm gonna throw a little bit of maybe music on here for an outro. You won't be able to hear it because you don't want to come out to Sacramento and do a live one with me. You just want to do this phone shit.
I'll just listen to the podcast and it'll be enjoyable. Listen to like everyone else.
Now, I would like to do this with you. Let's just do a little outro music, you and I. I'm gonna give you vocal drum beats, and you give me some cool like funky riffs. Ready?
Okay, go for it.
All right, thanks. You were listening to the Marmar's Hello There podcast with my guest Gomer Barnard. or whatever. Gomer. That's it. No last names.
Like Cher.
So thanks for listening. Keep an ear out for some more bullshit happening. All right, thank you. Ready, Gomer?
Ready.
You're really good. You're really good at guitar.
I know it.
All right, dude. Peace out, motherfucking people.
Talk to you soon. Later.
Bye.